Still in the same clothes. Did I do this video with a batch of them all at once? Then have them uploaded while I was gone on the astroscape? Or am I just really ripe right now? And one of them old guys that just ain't changing his clothes or washing anymore. Well, I guess if we had smell-o-vision, you could tell, right? But even still, if I was ripe, my ripeness don't smell like ring baloney like other people. When I'm ripe, I smell like OG Kush, like skunky OG Kush. You know, a combination of OG Kush and French toast. You know, from the Halston anywhere. For women, by the way. And sex. Well, that, you know what that's from. And and vanilla sugar cookies from the lotion that I have to apply for my skin condition. My Illuminati applied skin condition to go with the other conditions, right? I don't know, man. If I was one of the entities in this timeline that other timelines are watching, engaging, I think I'd be a little bit embarrassed. And I'd be a whole lot fearful. I mean, for real, they're looking at what's happening. You got people that have been killed by this thing that's happening, that they really exist, so they're going to the next timeline. How do you know that their spirits haven't been dubbed backwards, where now they're interdimensional spirits, right? And they're part of this army that you can't see. You know, the angels, the spiritual angels, and not the physical ones. There's a difference. So, we're looking at this, how I have family members who have been killed by this terrorist attack known as Obamacare. And I have family members who have been killed by those who have brain parasites, and they're programmed by the mainstream in sports. They're entertained by violence. That's how you know they have brain parasites. They're entertained by rap. You know, the other timelines, they don't have rap. They don't have sports. They don't have your mainstream media pushing terrorist agendas and dumbing you down to where you are entertained by violence in sports. They don't have governments pilfering the people. You see? So this is all like spooky shit to these other timelines. Now, the replay timeline, after this timeline is undone, that timeline is not happening yet. That timeline doesn't get to see this timeline, because that timeline is a decompression timeline where I write the fiction novels about those who don't exist here. You see? To see if there are any spirits who actually, their memories weren't wiped out from their spirit memory. Their non-tamperable, non-deletable spirit memory. It records our thoughts and our omissions. Naturally, everything we see, do, smell, taste, whatever, you know. Everything you experience that's in your physical memory is logged permanently in your spirit memory. Plus, the state of your heart, your thoughts. What's behind what you do, the motivation. Okay? These are things that explain to them the level of frequency resonance that you are permeated with. Because how would you like to be somebody here who you're retarded or something? I mean, for real, you have retardation, and You got programmed by what's around you to accrue this negative frequency resonance to you, and you didn't know any better. You had the mind of, say, a toddler. Um, you wouldn't want to be gauged just on the negative frequency resonance that sucks you through the wrong portal. You would want some entity to take a look at your non tampable, non deletable spirit memory to see if you had malice. Okay? I don't have any need to defend any of this or source it. In this timeline, they're changing the sources. So what they're telling you is changing as they're reading it to you. Okay? Those of you who've been following along for years know that for decades I have not changed this. It's been the same. It's not going to change. They could rewrite the Bible. I'm not going to change a word of what I have taught. It is the truth. It is fact. It is happening now. They're making people sick with it. They've crossed lines in my family. They've killed family members of mine. Now they are interdimensional commanding officers against them. How do you know that Trump is a puppet right now? Let's end with this, because I got things to do. I got things to do on the astroscape. Real things. This stuff that they've locked me to here ain't real to me. It's going to get undone. They're going to get time looped as me. Every last one of them going to get time looped to this illegal martial law that I got locked to here. They're going to see what this feels like. They're going to feel the torture that I feel as an advanced entity watching them torture animals, molest children of their innocence so that their brainwaves will no longer generate positive frequency resonance. You see, watch them program people, take advantage of the brain parasites that they afflicted them with, use sub-frequencies with the mainstream of sports and all their movies and stuff to dumb them down where they will be entertained by violence and have no shame about it. Have be big old huge violence cliques and shit. Rape cliques, for real. There's rape cliques. There's rape clubs, man. When you have rape, there's no rape clubs in any other timeline. There will not be in the next timeline. There won't be rap sports or anything else that was utilized for this. Now, how do you know Trump's a puppet? Obamacare and the travel ban. Those are the two of the main things that got him elected. The third was do something about this human-shaped plague they've made of the immigrants. Right? They won't let him fulfill those promises. So we know it's a puppet regime. Right? They look at them. Other timelines are watching them with this internet thing. There's no internet in other timelines, by the way, and this is the main reason. They want to dictate. There's no news agencies either. We don't need it because there's no crime. The criminals don't get out of here. You don't think they get out of here? Nobody entertained by sports or rap gets out of here, and none of the perpetrators get out of here. Those who actually benefited from it, which it would include record label execs, the behind the scenes monsters, yeah, sports franchise owners, the behind the scenes monsters, making millions off of this plague, huh? Yeah. And no other timeline do we have this where they are promoting this monstrous anti-culture. It opposes all cultures. This self-servience of this final generation. It's like, for real, it was predicted that all the contaminants would get here all at once. Now, if you want to get a demographic that you're going to get rid of, and you put them together all at once, and you can't wake them up to, hey, wow, you're part of a demographic that They want you all together all at once. When they get you all together all at once and you expose that you are all together all at once, you just don't know what they may be about to do. I lost my point back there somewhere. I want to be done with this. I'm done with it. In the future, which is now, which is the past, which is the future, within this mechanism, the simulation mechanism, which is the only place where time really has any effect or applies, because in the real world it doesn't really have this effect. Because, well, 1,000 years here is only one day back there. So that means 10 years here is only 15 minutes real time. Think about that. You who are 20 years old, you only been here a half hour. You who are 30 years old, you only been here 45 minutes. And you're here to gauge your spirit for real world existence viability. What are you doing with these molecules of the body that you were loaned? Like a pair of rental roller skates or a bumper car at the fun house, at the carnival, or some rental shoes at the bowling alley. What are you doing with them? Are you doing the opposite of what you should be doing with them? See? Well, you get the negative frequency resonance on you, which is giving them the ability to make you sick and zombify you, make you think what they want you to think, make you entertained by what they want you to be entertained by. So you won't bat an eye that there's 70 million homeless animals. It won't bother you. You won't care that they're torturing animals. You won't care that their brains have been eaten away so far gone that they're entertained by violence. Right? I mean, what do you expect in a timeline where they hid the real translations of the science book and the handbook of the clauses we all agreed to? They took that and hid it and came out with an official version, government official version, where the personality of God now conveniently is akin to the person whose name is on the translation. And then you find out, wow, this guy was a self-loathing, woman-hating, closet homosexual. And then you say, wow, it reads kind of like somebody like that would write, right? And then you see in the 1611 version, if you see a copy of any of the 1611 first versions, the prologue, the translators try to warn you about the lack of accuracy. And the fictional approach to translating the word of God. And let's end with this. I know I said it half the video ago when it was something else, but let's end with this. The Bible, the Holy Bible, that's the only Bible of Lucifer, because he's coming back here pretending to be Christ for a growing season. Christ is the clone of God. Lucifer is a fallen angel. He is not here, has not been here for 2,000 years, but he will be back here. He will not be cloned by humans, and he will not be introduced by humans. He does not need human help to come here. If you want to help him, start generating positive frequency resonance with your life. Apply it to Christ so that he can perform miracles when he gets here, to be a believable Christ. Okay? That's true Christianity and Luciferianism, all wrapped up into one big ball. Do something for your Father.